Once upon a time, in a kingdom where mountains kissed the skies and rivers sparkled like liquid diamonds, there lived a kind-hearted princess named Laila. She was no ordinary princess, her eyes gleamed like morning dew, and her laughter could lift the heaviest hearts. The people of the kingdom often called her Princess of Dew because her presence was as refreshing as the first drops of rain after a long summer. Princess Laila's father, King Zarian, was a wise and gentle ruler. He had built a grand palace with towers of marble and gardens filled with rare flowers that bloomed in every color imaginable. But despite all the grandeur, there was one thing that worried him endlessly: the well-being of his people. He had heard of kingdoms beyond the mountains where children went hungry and families struggled, and he wished for nothing more than to see his own kingdom flourish with happiness and abundance. One evening, as the golden sun dipped behind the mountains, casting its amber glow over the palace, Princess Laila wandered into the palace courtyard. Her long black hair flowed like a river of ink, adorned with small blossoms from the garden. She often spent her evenings walking among the fountains, listening to the soft whispers of the water and the distant songs of birds returning to their nests. It was during one of these evening strolls that she overheard a strange, melodic voice coming from the forest that bordered the palace. Curious, she tiptoed closer and discovered an old, abandoned mill. Its wooden wheels creaked in the breeze, and dust lay thick over the stones, yet the voice sang with such warmth and joy that it seemed to bring the very air to life. "Who are you?" Laila asked softly, peering inside. "I am Chucky," said the voice, surprisingly human-like. From the shadows stepped a small, wiry man with a long, silver beard and twinkling eyes. In his hands, he held a tiny wooden mill, which somehow seemed alive. "I grind not ordinary grain," he said with a wink. "I grind happiness, hope, and magic. But beware, princess, for every bit of magic comes with its own test." Intrigued, Laila stepped closer. "Can this mill really bring happiness to my kingdom?" Chucky smiled mysteriously. "It can, but only if the heart that turns it is pure and brave. Are you willing to try?" Without hesitation, Laila agreed. She was known throughout the kingdom for her courage, and nothing made her happier than helping others. Chucky placed the tiny mill in her hands, and immediately, it began to whirl with a soft, golden glow. Laila gasped as she felt warmth spreading from her fingers to her very soul. "Now, turn the mill," Chucky instructed. "But remember, the mill only works for those who seek goodness, and the road ahead will not be easy." With gentle determination, Laila began turning the mill. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but soon, a fine, sparkling salt began to emerge. This was no ordinary salt. It shimmered with tiny flecks of light, and each grain hummed with energy. "This is magic salt," Chucky explained. "It can heal sadness, bring laughter, and even grant wishes. But be careful, princess. There are forces in the world who would take it for selfish desires." Laila listened intently, understanding that such power came with responsibility. She promised to use the salt only to help those in need and to spread joy throughout her kingdom. Over the next several days, Laila visited villages, markets, and distant cottages, sprinkling the magic salt wherever she went. Flowers bloomed instantly, children laughed even in the darkest corners, and tired villagers found energy and hope in their hearts. Word of the princess of the magical salt mill spread quickly, and people from faraway lands came seeking her help. But not everyone was pleased. In the neighboring kingdom of Durak, a greedy sorcerer named Zoltar heard about Laila's magical salt. He coveted its power and dreamed of using it to rule not just one kingdom, but all lands. Zoltar, with his cloak of midnight and eyes like burning coals, set out to steal the mill. One stormy night, while Laila slept in her royal chamber, Zoltar crept into the palace. Shadows danced across the walls as he moved silently, but as soon as he touched the mill, it emitted a blinding light. Laila awoke instantly, sensing danger. She raced to the room and found Zoltar frozen, trapped in a cage of sparkling salt. "You cannot steal magic born of goodness," Laila said firmly. "It serves only those who help others, not those who seek power for themselves." Defeated, Zoltar vanished into a cloud of black smoke, leaving behind a warning. This is not over, princess. Magic like yours will always attract darkness. Despite the threat, Layla's courage never wavered. She decided it was time to strengthen the magic of the mill and learn its deepest secrets. With Chucky as her guide, she journeyed to the Crystal Caverns, a hidden place where enchanted stones hummed with ancient power. There, she met the Guardians of Light, four mystical creatures, each representing a virtue: courage, compassion, wisdom, and joy. The Guardians welcomed her warmly. "Princess Laila," said the Guardian of Wisdom, a magnificent phoenix with feathers of molten gold, "your heart is true. To fully awaken the mill's power, you must face 3 trials. The trial of shadows, the trial of doubt, and the trial of selflessness." Each trial tested her in ways she could not have imagined. In the trial of shadows, Laila confronted her fears, dark forests filled with whispering spirits that tried to turn her back. But she pressed forward, knowing that courage meant moving ahead even when scared. In the trial of doubt, illusions made her question whether she could truly help her people. Voices told her she was powerless, that the magic salt was meaningless. Yet, she reminded herself of the smiles she had seen, the lives she had touched, and the hope she had given. Her conviction broke the illusions, and the path ahead shone brighter. Finally, the trial of selflessness required her to give up the mill for a moment to save a village trapped by a sudden flood. Laila willingly placed the mill in the hands of the villagers, teaching them how to use kindness, courage, and resourcefulness to protect themselves. The mill glowed in approval, recognizing her pure heart. After completing the trials, the mill transformed. Its small wooden form expanded into a radiant, golden mill, capable of producing limitless magic salt, and a soft, melodious voice whispered, "Princess Laila, your heart has proven worthy. The magic now flows through your kingdom, forever guided by your goodness." Returning home, Laila found her kingdom more beautiful than ever. Crops flourished, rivers sparkled, laughter filled the streets, and no one ever went hungry. People from distant lands came to learn kindness, courage, and joy from the princess. Even Zoltar returned once, trying again to seize the mill, but Laila, now wise and confident, used the magic not for punishment but for teaching. She showed him the happiness that comes from helping others. Touched by her compassion, even the greedy sorcerer found a spark of goodness within his heart and left the kingdom transformed. Years passed, and Princess Laila grew into a queen beloved by all. She never stopped using the magic salt to help those in need and to teach the virtues she had learned from Chucky and the Guardians of Light. Her story became legend, a tale of courage, kindness, and the magical mill that turned not just salt, but hearts, into something extraordinary. And so, the kingdom thrived, filled with laughter, light, and hope, proving that true magic is born from a heart that seeks to give, to heal, and to love. The mill still rests in the palace courtyard, waiting for another kind soul to turn it, whispering in golden light, "Chucky Chucky Namak Nikal, let goodness flow, let hearts shine bright." And every time someone sprinkles the magic salt, somewhere a flower blooms, a child laughs, and the world becomes just a little brighter.